So now I get to introduce one of my favorite people, who's been very supportive to transgender people in Providence, and who showed up at the event a couple weeks ago at the State House to show his support, Mayor Elorza.
Good evening, everybody. You know, I gotta say that this is the first year that we're doing this here at Providence City Hall. And just looking at this picture and this scene right here, this is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so, given that this is the first year, let's make sure that we continue to not only celebrate this moment and celebrate each other, but to kick off a tradition that's going to continue for many years to come in the city of Providence. So please give yourselves a big round of applause. I want to recognize a few people who are here with us today, some of whom have already been recognized, but I want to recognize Councilwoman Sabina Matos. Councilwoman. And Council President David Salvatore couldn't be here today. An emergency came up, but he wanted me to mention that if it wasn't for that, he would be here right now. And you know, I wanted to let him know that on behalf of our transgender community, we appreciate his support of it as well. I want to give a shout out to Kai. Thank you very much, Kai, for what you do and for stepping up to serve. Being a part of the Human Relations Commission, it's not easy work. It's heavy lifting, it's heavy work. You got to show up, you got to attend meetings, you got to do research. But you know, Kai and other of his colleagues, they step up because it's the right thing to do. And I just want to let you know, on behalf of all of our residents, we appreciate your leadership on this issue. I also want to recognize just a couple of folks. Kayla Powell. Kayla is a former director of the Human Relations Commission. She has since left us. She's on to bigger and better things. She works at the National Center for Transgender Equality in Washington, D.C. But she's always a part of our family here in Providence. And it doesn't matter where you're working or where you're living, you know this is always home for you, Kayla. So you're always welcome here in Providence. And so that's the former director of the Human Relations Commission. And you know, the current director, Saul Tobin, who has taken on the position somewhat recently, but has hit the ground running. We appreciate your passion around social justice. And we thank you for your service. Someone that no one in this room knows, Joe Lazzarini, the president of Rhode Island Pride. He's a shy guy, so if you see him out there, please say hi to him. He needs friends. Joe is not only the director of the Mayor's Center for City Services, but he also is our LGBTQ plus liaison. So we appreciate your service to our city and state. Thank you so much, Joe. And I can't shout every person out, but I do got to shout out Miko Lamoureux. So I attended, you know, she's an activist, she's a candidate, she's a community organizer. And she's also a local stand-up comedian, and she rocked it on stage. So props to you, Nika. So let me begin by saying this. You know, I've been reflecting a lot lately on, you know, what brings us all to public service. And I think that oftentimes we make the mistake of focusing on what we do. Sometimes we even focus on how we do it. And we don't focus enough on why it is that we do those things. And when I think of why we support our LGBTQ and our transgender community in particular, it's because here in Providence, we want every single person to feel as though they're part of a family. They're part of a community that's much bigger than just themselves. And so, you know, I'm proud that the City of Providence has always been very progressive on these issues, and that my administration has leaned into it even more so. Hanging the transgender flag here in Providence sends such an important message to the rest of the world. And so the entire time that the transgender flag is flying, every time you look at it, I hope what will go through your mind is that not just you, but every transgender member of our community, that they have a family here in our city. And I hope that that's what it'll represent the entire time that it's hanging. And why is it so important to do this? Look at the times that we're living in right now. We have a president that wants to eliminate and erase our identity from existence. We also have a president in Brazil who is outspokenly transphobic, doesn't just admits it, but says it proudly. And so we know that we have challenges, issues, and oftentimes enemies. But I want everyone to know that as far as we're concerned here in the City of Providence, you not just have a friend, you have a brother, you have a family member in our entire institution here in City Hall. And so that's why we've leaned into this. And as part of our One Providence initiative, when our current president was elected, between Election Day and Inauguration Day, what we did here in the city is every single week, we rolled out a new policy or a new initiative or made a new announcement. And basically what we did is we looked at every single group that candidate Trump at the time had insulted and said, over the next 7 weeks, let's reach out specifically to each of these groups in our One Providence initiative and let them know that what they hear on TV isn't what they should experience here at home. And as one of those initiatives, I am so proud that we changed our insurance policy here in the City of Providence so that now our insurance policy covers gender reassignment not only for all of our current employees, but for every one of our retirees that receives benefits through the City of Providence. But that's not enough. We have to do more. There are so many young people that are struggling with their identity in our schools nowadays. And we want them to know that they're part of our family. And so I'm very proud that our school department leaned into this as well. And now every public building, including all of our schools, has a transgender bathroom policy so that you don't have to live in fear where you're going to use the bathroom if you have to use it when you're out. As long as you're connected with the City of Providence, there's a place for you to feel comfortable. And so these are some of the things we do, but I want you to focus more on why we do them. We do them because our transgender brothers and sisters are part of our family, and we do what any other family would do. We look out for each other, we leave no one behind, and make sure that you always feel welcome. So in this day of remembrance, which is a solemn occasion, as we're looking back and reflecting on how we can do better, let's take these experiences that we've gone through collectively, and let's not fail to celebrate, frankly, who we are and what we've done together. It's a sad day, but it's also a hopeful day. Thank you all. And so it is my great pleasure, whereas the Transgender Day of Remembrance was founded by transgender advocate Gwendolyn Ann Smith as a vigil to honor the memory of Rita Hester, a transgender woman killed in 1998. Whereas the City of Providence's commitment to a vision of justice, equity, and respect for the dignity of all people will not waver. Now, therefore, I, Jorge Elorza, Mayor of the City of Providence, hereby proclaim November 20th, 2018 as Transgender Day of Remembrance. And I'd like to ask Miss MX, let me make sure I get this right. I'd like to ask MX Trans Rhode Island 2018 from Rhode Island Pride, Peyton James, to please join me here at the podium to present this proclamation.